Imagine a system that automatically removes caterpillars from your plants. Wouldn't that be awesome? You wouldn't have to spend hours searching for them. There'd be no need to crush them by hand and have their disgusting guts all over your hands. Your plants would still love you. Well, guess what? There is such a thing. Birds are nature's pest-seeking missiles. Did you know a single nest of chickadees can eat up to 5,000 caterpillars in a season? They do this between when the eggs hatch and when the nestlings fledge. That's up to 5,000 fewer caterpillars for you to hunt down and squash. Best of all, bird parents are highly motivated to go after those caterpillars. They don't think it's a gross job. It's necessary for the survival of their little ones. Therefore, they eagerly go and find these pests for you. You don't have to have chickadees in particular to gain the benefits of these pest hunting behaviors. Most backyard bird species feed their nestlings insects and other pests that you'd like to get rid of. These provide the protein the nestlings need to grow. The key to getting plenty of hungry birds in your yard is to put in plants that attract adult birds to nest there. Here are 9 things you can plant that will help. First, we'll start with plants that provide nectar. Hummingbirds and several other species love the sweet fluids as adults. These birds also help pollinate vegetables and have deep flowers, like squashes, so it's extra good to have them around. Top on the list is the trumpet vine. This one attracts ruby-throated hummingbirds and orioles. Its native range stretches from New Jersey all the way down to Florida and over to Texas, so it works in a lot of different climates. Trumpet vines thrive in full sun. They can tolerate partial shade, but in most areas full sun is needed for maximum blooms. In Florida and other sunny states with high UV levels, some plants may need dappled shade. These vines are highly adaptable to soil types and can tolerate a wide range of pH levels. They do need adequate drainage in order to prevent root rot. Once established, they are quite drought tolerant. They only need watering during extreme heat and drought conditions. After a trumpet vine is established, it's a good idea to skip the fertilizer. Too much fertilizer causes fewer blooms. Coral honeysuckle is another plant that hummingbirds love for its nectar. Robins and other songbirds enjoy the red berries, too. Of course, both of these benefits are for the adults. The young of these species eat insects. The adults search for them tirelessly to feed their broods. This plant has a broad growing area around the entire eastern United States. It is a vine that enjoys full sun in most climates and will tolerate partial shade. It adapts to many soil types, including clay and sand. However, it thrives in well-drained, slightly acidic to neutral soil. During establishment, it needs regular watering. Once it is established, however, it is highly drought tolerant. Unlike trumpet vine, it does need some fertilizer, but not much. Give it balanced, slow-release fertilizer just once in early spring. Excess nitrogen produces foliage growth without flowering. In the late winter or early spring, before new growth starts, give it a light pruning to shape it and remove dead wood. Trimming it after the first flush of blooms encourages repeat blooming. However, the last bloom should be left on the plant. This lets them turn into berries that will feed adult robins and other songbirds in the fall and winter. Firebush is favorite for hummingbirds who are trying to bulk up for their migrations. Once the hummingbirds are gone, the firebush makes berries. Mockingbirds and catbirds eat these berries during the cooler months. Unlike the other plants, this one is a lover of heat. It does well in Florida and wants to be in Zone 8 and up. That's Zone 9, 10, and 11. It grows all along the Gulf Coast and provides a beautiful show as well as being useful for the birds. Unlike the previous 2 plants, this one is not a vine. As its name implies, it's a bush. It can adapt to any soil type, but it needs a soil to be well draining. It cannot tolerate soggy soil. Despite this, new transplants should be watered consistently for the first month. It's extremely drought tolerant once it's established. Mature plants only need deep watering during extended droughts. Pruning is used for shaping and size control. It's best to do hard pruning in late winter or early spring, just before new growth begins. It rarely needs fertilizer. When it does, a slow-release balanced granular fertilizer or bone meal in the spring can give it a boost. The one caveat with Firebush is that it is sensitive to the cold. If exposed to freezing temperatures, it may die back to the ground. It usually grows back strong from the deep taproot in spring. This happens if the climate is warm enough. Extended winters, such as those found in the northern and central states, will kill it. Before birds will want to stay in your yard, they'll need more than plants that provide food. To be truly bird-friendly, your yard also needs places for them to nest and hide from predators. With that in mind, here are 3 shrubs that provide dense cover for nesting and roosting. The Yaupon holly is a favorite of cardinals, Carolina wrens, and brown thrashers. They nest in shelter in the thick branching. The native range of this plant runs from Florida up through the southeast and over into Texas. This holly thrives in zones 7 to 11 and is highly adaptable. It can handle anything from full sun to deep shade and go from drought to occasional flooding. Note that most plants are more sensitive when they are first put in. During the first year, water it deeply 2 to 3 times a week. After this period, it typically survives on natural rainfall and can handle droughts. The females produce red berries, but there needs to be a male in the area in order for these to form. It prefers slightly acidic soil, so if they need fertilizer, be sure to use one designed for acid-loving plants. There are dwarf varieties that reach 2 to 3 feet and form neat, compact hedges. However, the standard varieties are larger. The wax myrtle. Towhees and gray catbirds use thickets of wax myrtles for cover. Yellow-rumped warblers rely heavily on berries in winter. This is why they were once called myrtle warblers. This plant ranges along the coast from Florida up to about Delaware and Maryland. This is a full-on tree when allowed to grow as high as they want to go. However, they are often trimmed into privacy hedges. They can handle coastal environments and are known for providing wildlife habitat. Once established, they need minimal maintenance. Unlike many plants, they can handle both dry and swampy soil types. Full sun to partial shade work, and they have excellent salt tolerance. Despite their resiliency, too much water or poor drainage can kill them with root rot. Water them regularly when new, but don't overdo it. Once established, they need to be watered every 10 to 14 days. One thing to be aware of is the speed of their growth. They can grow 3 to 5 feet in a year. They tolerate many pruning styles. You can shear them for a dense hedge. Your birds will enjoy this. They can also be limbed up to form an attractive but small tree. Keep them short and thick to provide plenty of nesting habitat. Arrowwood viburnum. This plant has dense multi-stem branches. Gray catbirds, cardinals, and brown thrashers love it for nesting cover. Unlike many others, it thrives from Zone 2 to Zone 8 and 9. Its native range stretches from Maine to Florida. The white flower clusters in late spring also pull in pollinators. It produces blue-black berries in the fall. Some songbirds eat them, but the plant is mainly valued for its cover. The viburnum is a true shrub rather than a tree. This makes it easier to keep in smaller garden areas and landscapes. It's very adaptable. It thrives in full sun or partial shade. With enough sunlight, it produces lots of blooms and berries. Slow-release balanced fertilizer or a layer of rich compost in the spring will help it along. For the best berry production, you'll need 2 different varieties of this plant. Cross-pollination is required to get fruit. Notably, it blooms on old wood. If you prune in the fall or winter, you'll remove the next season's buds. You can cut dead branches out at any time. One warning. In some areas, the viburnum leaf beetle is a problem. Check with your local extension office to see if this is the case in your area. Some birds either don't migrate or they leave very late. They may also come in too early in the spring. For these birds, plants that provide berries in the winter are essential. So I'll finish this list of bird-friendly plants with these suggestions. These varieties are known for offering food during the fall and winter seasons. The flowering dogwood is a favorite of bluebirds, robins, cedar waxwings, and woodpeckers. Despite being known to humans for its flowers, the birds are interested in its berries. Though it has the technical name of Cornus florida, this small tree does best only in northern Florida and cooler zone 9 pockets as well as cold areas. It doesn't do well when exposed to the true blast furnace temperatures that this state is capable of. These trees thrive in partial shade or dappled light. They need morning sun to dry off the morning dew. This prevents fungal disease. However, they need protection from harsh afternoon sun, which can scorch them. Unlike many of the plants in this list, dogwoods prefer rich organic soil. Still, you should avoid over-fertilizing. The sparing application of slow-release tree and shrub fertilizer is enough. It's also a good idea to add compost when planting. Dogwoods are not drought-tolerant. Soak them deeply once or twice a week. This is especially important in the first few years as they settle in. Mulch in a circle around the trunk for a spread of 2 to 3 feet. This helps to retain moisture and regulate soil temperature. Be sure to keep it a few inches away from the trunk to prevent root and trunk rot. Also, avoid making mulch volcanoes. The mulch should allow plenty of air to reach the trunk and the rest of the plant. There's not a lot of pruning work involved in keeping a dogwood healthy. Prune while the dogwood is dormant. Winterberry holly is a favorite for cedar waxwings, robins, bluebirds, and mockingbirds. They strip the berries all winter long. It's hardy from zone 3 to 9 and can be grown in almost the entire United States. To get berries, you need at least one male shrub for every 5 to 10 female shrubs. This helps with pollination. It needs moist, acidic soil and full to partial sun. This helps it produce the best blooms and the heaviest fruit sets. They need rich, organic, acidic soils. Ideal pH is below 6, and they tolerate heavy, wet, or poorly drained areas. They're naturally native to wetlands. Therefore, they need consistent moisture. Give at least an inch of water each week. You can use rainfall or irrigation. Make sure the soil doesn't dry out. Drying can cause foliage to brown and drop prematurely. For fertilization, use a fertilizer designed for acid-loving plants as the ground thaws early in the spring. There is no need for routine pruning. If the shrub needs shaping, first remove dead or diseased branches. Then prune it in early spring before new growth starts. Pruning female plants too much can greatly reduce your berry yield next winter. Eastern red cedar. It's a favorite of cedar waxwings, robins, and bluebirds. It grows from zones 2 through 9 and is considered native in North Florida. These evergreens are extremely hardy and drought tolerant once established. They need full sun and well-draining soil. In the first year, water them regularly. Once they are established, they need almost no care. They can thrive in poor rocky soils and heavy clays. They need 6 hours of direct sunlight daily. They become sparse and lose their lower foliage if grown in too much shade. During their first growing season, seedlings and newly planted trees need consistent watering. Only during severe droughts will they need supplemental deep watering after they're established. Even though they can handle clay, they do need good drainage. They don't tolerate constantly waterlogged or swampy conditions. Supplemental fertilizer is generally unnecessary. This is a pioneer species that excels even in porous soils. Sometimes young saplings develop two competing central stems or leaders. Cut one of these off to ensure a single strong trunk. Any pruning should be done in late winter or early spring. Light shaping encourages dense, compact growth in young trees. Tip pruning can also stimulate growth to fill in bare spots. That said, avoid cutting into any leafless wood as it will not regrow. You don't need a lot of land or a whole forest to enjoy the garden benefits of bird-friendly shrubs and plants. Just 2 or 3 of these plants can attract more birds to your yard. This also boosts the chances that they'll nest nearby. Once they start, you'll have a team ready to chase down caterpillars and other pests in your garden. Like biological robots, they'll tirelessly do the work that you've been dreading, and they'll thank you for the opportunity. To learn more about the birds in your backyard and in North America, check out my bird channel, Beyond Alligators. That's all for now. Subscribe to see more.